What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well today. So today, as you can tell by the title, I finally got around to doing my labor and delivery video, and as you can see, Mr. Chunky Man right here is it's no longer a newborn, right? You say hi. Say hi. He is a whole 3 months. So this video is a little late, but we gonna make it work. So basically I'm going to, insert some clips from my labor and delivery, like us getting there, checking in, the whole thing, right? The journey has started. I'm on my way to the hospital to welcome baby number 5. It's Brian. I want to go home.
So I was told to do some recording. I'm just ready. I'm in the flow. Trying to get my teammate over here in the game here. Trying to get her in the game. Take it one step at a time. Excited. Yeah. I'm ready. Ready? You got this. You got this.
Awesome, welcome guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Happy baby day.
Are you still recording?
I am still recording.
I want to go home.
So not too late to turn back. It's too late to turn back now. I believe. Got to stop this baby. Yeah. It's too late to turn back now.
I said this the last time. Hey,
He did. You say this all the time.
I looked at the doctor like, is it too late to change my mind? She was like, yeah.
She's gonna be alright. It's gonna be a
I like
flow.
your hat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's gonna be a nice little flow. And she's gonna be better than she was even the last time. She was even better the last time, so it's gonna get even better. Let's go.
So, how do you feel, Rob?
I'm excited. I mean, I usually be nervous every time. Like now, I'm just, I don't know. Yeah, burst of joy.
You're not
Different
nervous this time?
I'm not. I'm not.
He might not be nervous.
You look best.
Me on the other. Do you see another one? It's one up there on the wall. But me on the other hand, I want to go home. It's called makeup. Look at me.
Jasmine, just do a quick set of vitals and take a listen to baby, okay?
Oh, perfect. I wanted to kind of go into detail about, the process itself, because I don't know if you don't know, he was delivered by C-section, just as my previous 4 kids were C-sections. So he's C-section number 5, and in my mind, I thought I knew what to expect, So it was kind of going into it like I always get nervous every single time. That's just normal what it is. So I was nervous, but it was still like, okay, I got this. I've been here before. I know what they're going to do. They hit the epidural. They're going to numb me. You're going to feel some tugging, some pulling, some pressure. So I was trying to prepare myself for, what was coming. But what I was not prepared for was the bad reaction that I had to the anesthesia. Now, I don't know the anesthesia that I usually get. I know they do an epidural in your back. So from the waist down, you don't feel anything. But this particular time, okay, let me back up a little bit. So when it was finally time for, oh, sorry, honey. When it was finally time for my surgery, I walked down to the OR. I'm talking to the nurses. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? They're introducing themselves. My anesthesia doctor came in, introduced himself, told me, it's going to be a quick procedure, maybe 30 to 45 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I know. He's number 5, so I've been here before. So when I get in the actual room, they go through the normal routine, sit on the table, bend forward, do the epidural. That's cool. That's running. So I get on the table and they're starting to, do the process of C-section. So, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I don't feel it's not painful, but I feel them doing stuff. Like I feel tugging and pulling, and I just kind of feel them in there doing what they're doing. But the problem with him was, I forget what they call it. Is it not transverse, linear? No, that's not right either. When I think of it, I'll put it down below. But basically, he was sideways across my stomach. So instead of him being like straight up and down, so when they do the C-section, they, pull him out head first, he was sideways. So they had to kind of turn him in the way that he was supposed to be. So they had to force him into a head down position. Now, with them trying to turn him, again, it didn't hurt, but it was extremely uncomfortable because I felt them like maneuvering my stomach and trying to get him to turn straight up. You laughing. But after they did, because, I was kind of hold on, we got to pause here. So when I'm in pain, or not even really pain, when I'm uncomfortable with something, like physically speaking, I make faces. So I was making faces because, again, it was uncomfortable with them trying to get him to turn the long way. So I was making faces like, and my anesthesia doctor takes it upon himself to give me some extra medication, I guess, to calm me down. But the problem was he didn't ask me if I wanted anything, if I needed anything, if I was uncomfortable. He didn't ask no questions. Like, he just looked at my face and assumed that I needed something. Now, the difference with this anesthesia doctor over my last one when I was pregnant with Caden, he actually seen, I guess, on the monitors, like my heart rate was going up and everything. So he asked me, did I need something to kind of calm my nerves? Well, he actually asked me if I needed a little something to kind of take the edge off. So that was cool. But this doctor, again, didn't ask me anything, right? So first, he stabs me in the shoulder. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being extra. He literally stabbed me in the shoulder. I guess he forgot, like, the epidural doesn't numb everything. It's just the waist down. So I don't know how he was holding the needle, but it wasn't like a normal shot. He like stabbed me in the shoulder. So I was facing this way talking to my husband, and he stabbed me in the shoulder, and I turned around like, ow, like what did you just stab me with? And when I tell you, I went on like a bad trip. Like, I've never done drugs in my life, right? So I've never been like high to the point that I'm seeing stuff. But that medication that he stabbed me with sent me somewhere to a whole different dimension. Like, my husband and I, like, we joke about it now and we call it the quantum realm. But it was so crazy because as soon as he stabbed me, it seemed like it was instantly that I looked up and I was seeing like, okay, everybody played Nintendo, like Super Mario Brothers, like how he jumps on the little yellow boxes. I was literally standing there looking up, watching Mario jump on the yellow boxes. So I'm thinking to myself, why am I looking at Mario jump on boxes right now? Like, I know good and well this is not the other side. Like, did I just die? Like, I know I didn't just die. Like, I got so much going through my mind while I'm still fried off in another dimension. Like, I'm still having like conscious thoughts, I guess. So I'm like, I know this is not the other side. Like, what is going on? So it's like I was going in and out. Like, that Mario scene, and then I kind of came back to myself. So I'm looking around the room and I'm seeing my doctor, like her assistant, the nurses. I look over at my husband and I see him. I was about to say something, and then it seemed like the whole room kind of rolled over and turned to another scene. And it looked like, have you ever looked through a kaleidoscope? Like how you just see all shapes and colors turning? That's what was happening. So as soon as the room would kind of roll over, it was like a kaleidoscope. All I seen was like shapes and colors moving everywhere. And then I would kind of come back to myself, and then the room would roll over again. Are you getting cranky? Are you getting cranky? Come on. Are you getting cranky? So the room would like roll over again to a different scene with like really bright, vivid colors, and it was just shapes and colors like all over the place. So, which is why we call it like the quantum realm, or not even really the quantum realm, but I don't know how many people seen the last Spider-Man movie, but when he had his little fight battle with Doctor Strange, how he was like walking up the side of the building and the city was like upside down, that is literally what I seen in whatever state that I was in. Are you okay? So, that lasted pretty much the whole time, even after the delivery. Okay, so the medication did not wear off until probably a few hours after he was born. I do remember don't you eat my fingers? One moment where I kind of came back to myself. I looked at my husband and I'm like, what do we have? Now, pause. I don't know if you've seen my pregnancy announcement video, but we didn't find out the gender until he was actually born. So I had no idea if he was a boy or a girl. And the crazier part about that is when they finally got him out, you know how they hold the babies over, and I heard like, congratulations, it's and then I was out again, and the room spun around and I'm seeing colors and shapes. So I had no idea that he was even a boy until hours after he was born. So I looked at my husband and I was like, what do we have? And he like, we had a boy. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I went out again, colors and shapes. I'm in the quantum realm, kicking it with Doctor Strange. So I come back and I'm like, wait, what are you holding? Like, I seen him holding him, you know, all wrapped up and stuff. And I'm like, what is he holding? I'm like, what do you have? And he like, the baby. We had a boy. And I was like, a boy. Fell out again. Me and Doctor Strange, we kicking it. So when I finally came to, when the stuff started to wear off, I looked at him in the little bassinet and I was like, what is that? So Rod was like, that's Aaron, that's the baby. I was like, the baby? Oh, we had a baby. Like, I was so far gone, it was ridiculous. So really, I know it was hours later. I don't know how many hours later, but okay, sorry guys, had a lunch break over here. But what was I talking about? What was the last thing I said? What was I talking about? Oh, But yeah, I didn't really come back to myself for real until like hours later. Or what seemed like hours later, 'cause I don't really know what the time frame was. But when I had my checkup appointment with my OB, I was telling her like I had, a really bad experience with medication and all of this. And she told me that it was a drug called ketamine. So I have mentally stored that in my brain. Like the next kid that we have, I'm going to make sure I tell the anesthesia doctor, do not give me ketamine. Like, no. If you see my face looking crazy, if you feel like I need something to take the edge off, just kick the epidural up a little bit. Like, do not, under no circumstances, do I ever want ketamine ever in life. Like, when I say I felt stupid, like, I don't like not being in control of myself. And that's how I felt. Like I had zero control over myself because I'm already numb from the waist down. So I can't move. And then now I'm having these visions, or I'm in like a different dimension type situation. I didn't like that at all. Like that really bothered me. So when I was telling my husband, like, stuff that I was seeing, like I'm looking at Mario jump on boxes, I'm seeing colors and shapes flying around, the room spinning, rolling over. He was looking at me like, I was wondering because like I'm looking at you and your eyes look crazy, like your eyes was glitching and jumping. I'm like, yeah, that was. Then I'm so control. I got control issues, right? And it's like I'm so controlling. I was trying to get myself out of that state. So I kept trying to like focus my eyes on the room. But whenever I would focus, I would just go right back into like another scene with colors and shapes. And I do remember one point, I looked at my husband and he split into two people. And like it freaks me out because I'm like, what is happening? Like, what is wrong with my mind right now? Like he was holding Aaron, and I looked over at him, and I was about to say, "Let me see the baby." In my mind, that's what I said, but I didn't actually say those words. So I looked at him, and he legit split just half into two people, and then it was two of him. So I'm looking back and forth like, why is it two of you? But then I was out again, color, shapes, Doctor Strange, the whole thing. So afterwards, like I said, when I was explaining the stuff that I was seeing and where my mind was at to him, like he was saying, like he was standing there looking at me and he got concerned because he kept saying like, you just didn't look right. Like your eyes was like twitching and moving around, and like he got scared. So he said that he asked my anesthesia doctor, like, is she okay? And apparently the doctor told him like, oh yeah, she's fine. It'll wear off. No, bruh. I was not fine. Like, I was so far from fine. Like, and then later they sent me an email, like, rate your hospital experience. How was your doctor? How was your anesthesiologist? When it got to that point, I couldn't wait to be like, dude messed me up. Like, he gave me some crap that sent me off into a whole nother universe. Like, I was a whole Avenger at one point. Like, no. But then something happened to my computer and the page like refreshed itself, so I couldn't actually give my feedback because it basically said like I had already completed the survey, but I really didn't. So I guess he'll never know that he messed me up and caused me to be like in a whole other dimension. And then, like I said, I have a real low tolerance for like medication. It doesn't take a lot of medication for me to, do anything. So I think it was probably too strong to begin with. And then he might have given me too much. So it sent me way off somewhere. And I did not like it, like at all. So afterwards, I didn't have any like lingering complications from that. It was just that like isolated incident. But other than that, the C-section went smoothly. He came out perfectly fine, and I'll insert some pictures now. But he came out fine and everything. The surgery went well. My recovery was well. They, stitched me up. I'll go back to the recovery room. So when I started to come back to myself, it was just that part was like the normal part with like C-section and recovery that I was used to. I tried to keep in mind, to take it easy, don't really lift and bend and do all of that stuff. But overall, aside from the drug experience, the labor and delivery was not really that bad. Like I said, I didn't have any complications. Everything went well. The nurses are like, all of my nurses were extremely nice. My doctor was awesome. And for those of you that don't know, and then little disclaimer, I don't like to say that I have, because that shows ownership, and diseases is something that I don't claim, I don't own, it's not mine. But according to doctors, they say that I have sickle cell. So with having, according to them, sickle cell, it can make like pregnancy complicated. But thankfully, there was no crisis involved. I didn't have to have any infusions during delivery with him, or even afterwards with him. So that was a blessing in itself. But yeah, other than that, that was pretty much it. Like I said, no complications, no issues. The C-section scar healed up nicely, like the previous ones. And then that's something else too that my doctor was kind of nervous about, because with repeat C-sections that you can start to have certain issues. But I didn't have any of the issues that she was worried about. Everything was in the right place. Everything was where it was supposed to be. So everything, it kind of like the ball was in my court, and I can't, attribute that to anything other than, the favor and goodness of God. Because I have been in certain situations medically that it had to be nothing but God that got me out of those situations. And the same thing with, pregnancy, labor, delivery, and all of that. But that's a different topic. But yeah, I just wanted to share my experience with you guys. And if anybody has any questions, or you want me to explain anything or elaborate on anything that I might have said, please, please, please drop me a comment down below, and I will answer those as quick as possible. Also, I don't know if I even mentioned this, but when he was born, he was actually 7 pounds 1 ounce, and he is my biggest baby. My other kids were 6 pounds 6 ounces, 6 pounds 13 ounces, so they were all 6 something. He's the only one that was 7 pounds 1 ounce, which it wasn't really a difference in like during pregnancy with him that he was a little bit bigger. But yeah, he did come out at 7 pounds 1 ounce. I don't really remember how long he was, but he's going to be tall because he is long now. Like, he's sleeping right now, but he's like from here, y'all can see the top of his head. Like, his feet is right here. So he's long, and he's only 3 months. So I will definitely do another video, probably a like 3-month update video on him. So yeah, if that's something that you all want to see, again, let me know in the comments below, and we will do another video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Peace.